What photograph am I looking at here? Is this the car after it was
That's the car
buffed?
after my dad had a professional buffer with wax on it, so he just took off the extra paint that was on the top level from the pole.
But these dots here are still chipped paint.
Yes.
So you're saying that they have to paint the whole left side of your car?
The driver's side door. They blend it in so it looks like it's all...
Yeah, so they're going to do a little more than just the door, is your point, which is why this is more costly than it would be if it was just the door. Is that your position?
Correct, but that's all that is being repaired is the door.
I mean, if I were you and you knew you were paying for this, I bet any money you'd go for another estimate someplace. Especially knowing that she's gotten two legitimate estimates, 1/3 the amount that you're willing to pay.
I'd just love to know, how were they able to provide an estimate when they didn't have the car?
I sent them photos and I described the damage, and then I sent them the estimate that you had so they knew exactly what had to be done.
Very good.
Okay.
I don't know if it's going to work, but it was very good. All right.
I enjoyed your refreshing my recollection about agency in this case. You're right. She was acting essentially within the course of her employment of the defendant when the accident occurred. So she was his agent, but doesn't the rule also apply that even though you're an agent, you can't necessarily be negligent or reckless? The principal would be responsible in that case for the negligence of his agent.
That's right. Her being his agent doesn't mean that she can act recklessly to his detriment. It means that if she, say, had an incident with a third party and that third party wanted to sue her, she could say to the third party, you should sue him because I was working for him.
It's
she
like
still is liable to
right,
him.
It's like respondeat superior.
Yeah, right.
She's going to, that's the concept. So,
Right.
see, I do remember something. So, yeah, so it wouldn't be between the two of them. It's between a third party and who they could seek remuneration
We were just
from.
playing a little law school game.
I know.
out here.
I like. So I feel that he's met his burden with respect to that, and he's under no obligation to pursue his insurance. The question, which I think I want to reserve for last, is how much damage does he deserve under all the circumstances? As far as the liability for the ear infection, I don't see it because in his own instructions, Kona loves the beach, and therefore the setting was made by him and expected that she would take him to the beach in order for him to be happy. And he himself was aware and didn't advise her that he had had a previous ear infection. So she came at the matter just fresh in terms of dealing with those. I don't see there's any liability on her.
What if it was a child and you took her to the beach and the next day she got a cold and a sore throat?
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to say? Okay, you got to pay for all the kids' medical bills, right?
I just say, speaking of children, because he left some very good instructions. This was
He
my
was very
favorite.
good.
Yes.
Careful with little kids. She will knock them down and has mistaken a small hand as a toy.
I mean, he was so
He was not
detailed.
going to be a defendant.
cool.
I know.
Kona was not going to
Right.
make him a defendant
Right.
in a lawsuit.
So his omission, I think, is more significant because he was so detailed.
Let's talk about the damages.
Okay, so the car, we know she's responsible, at least we believe that, and he's got the issue of the rent-a-car, which is, at this point, has not ripened yet. We don't know whether or not he would, in fact, rent an SUV. What is he asking for the car, 7 and change? I didn't remember exactly what his request
Asking
was
for
that.
27 for repairs and 1122
For the rental?
For the rental.
Well, I wouldn't give him that much. I would give him $550 because I think you could get a really decent car that will get you to and from work if, in fact, you rent it all.
Can we just talk about the repair bill? I mean, if you look at the pictures in Defendant's Exhibit page 3, so we see how the car looks really banged up before her father buffed it out. Page 4, it's hard for me to look at the picture of the car that she submitted after her father did the repair work and see $2,700 worth of damage.
Well, let's say this. We know it's $2,000, his deductible. I would feel comfortable giving him the $2,000, and then he can either go to her people or he could go to his people. For the rental, I'd give him half of what he asked for.
I think it's
So he comes out with $2,500, basically. Could you live with that?
I won't die over it. I'll join you.
Yeah.
I could join you.
Okay.
We have a verdict.